Two of the very best out here on the LPBT Tour, Diana Teeters and Dede Davidson. And they'll bowl for the rights to take on Sandra Jo Shirey for the Hammer Eastern Open title.
And a lane breakdown, lane 25, 4 strikes. Again, pretty even, lane 26, 3. Diana Teeters finished up on the left lane last game.
Threw a couple of practice shots on the adjacent pair and ends up with a 2-pin here to start the semifinal game.
Maybe not quite revved up as much that time as she was in the last game. Didn't get quite enough on the ball.
Is there a tendency to relax a little more physically and mentally, Lala, after you come out and win a game in the championship round?
Well, I think the adrenaline is still going, Denny, but yeah, you've got the break from the commercial break, this and that. It's tough to try to get that adrenaline back going.
Is it tough to maintain the same ball speed after the break?
Definitely. She really, her ball speed, which was much stronger, the amount of revolutions. She probably had 1-2 more revolutions on the ball towards the end of last game than she did on that last shot.
Dede Davidson, who averaged 224 on this pair of lanes throughout the week, ready to throw her opening shot, the only lefty in the top 5.
Dede's key this week for left-handers is she really felt like she needed to hit up on the ball. When she stroked it, she said, I could not carry. It's the stronger hit, the stronger hand release was when she carried.
A very strong physical player, an aggressive player, and she is mic'd up here this evening. So from time to time, we'll try and eavesdrop a little bit on the current U.S. Open champ. Uh-oh, mistake in the opening frame.
And Dede's game, 5-step, very typical game. Actually carries the ball through the first step. Watch her shoulder high backswing. A little higher. And as she comes through, again, another very strong player, really whips the ball. You can see her release, how strong it is.
Surprised to see her miss the 7-pin in the opening frame. She had drilled up at least a couple of new spare balls, but sometimes when you do that, you don't get a chance to throw them very much, and then you get into the championship round and you make a mistake. Not a good shot there on the left-hand lane.
You heard her say, uh-oh. Best finish in this event. Twice she finished 7th in 91 and 92.
Well, it never fails. You end up with another 7-pin.
They're saying, okay, if I missed you once, I'm definitely going to get you the second time.
Diana up by 11, courtesy of an open frame, and that's a nice way to start a match.
You have to figure the breaks could be going your way. Just trying to stay focused, one shot at a time. Beautiful. And you can see Diana Teeters during the previous match making all kinds of notes. I mentioned she was a student of the game. She's analyzing, she's making adjustments. What this is this is where she is standing with her feet. When you see the 19th board or the 20th board, I'm looking at lane 26, and this is her target. She started out targeting around 7.5 board. She did not carry a shot or two. She moved everything in. The lanes could be breaking down just a little bit. The condition breaking down.
So I guess you could say that those aren't Cliff's notes, those are Diana's notes.
Well, you'll see many of these players doing this through qualifying, Denny, because every pair of lanes, every lane is different as you cross the house. Again, during match play, because many times we'll go back to that pair a second time that night. And if you've got a slight advantage because you can remember, say, that pair might have been hooking more than the last pair, you've got to jump on the first couple frames of the game.
So the tour players are using crib sheets. Is that what you're telling me?
There you go. Joey Davidson, Dede's brother, came out to watch his sister play tonight.
You could almost parallel that to many of the quarterbacks in the National Football League, even major colleges that have a number of the formations on their wristbands, and they have to look down to come up with the right formation. You might as well be clear in terms of where you're trying to play the lanes.
And another error by Dede. Denny, when you're crossing a 40-lane center, it's a wonderful advantage to have. And here Dede chopping the 2 off the 4. And again, I've mentioned the height of the players, 5'9". Very tall, strong players this week. Dede working with Gip Lentine on her game this summer. Said he changed a few things in her stance, try to get her to open up the lane a little bit more at times. Other times, trying to close up the lanes. She's also become a student of the game.
A lot of self-talk going on right now. Happy with the strike in the 4th, but she has spotted Diana a 34-pin lead. Let's see if she can overcome those early mistakes. Normally against a player that's lined up on a pair of lanes, you open a couple of frames and you're done for the night.
And we know she can throw 300s, but she did it twice earlier this week.
And don't forget, we've also got the touring players later on tonight, the Rochester Open from Marcel's Olympic Bowl in Rochester, New York. And as soon as they're done in Rochester, top-ranked boxing, Iran Barkley. Major league fighter he is, and that's on Top Rank. It starts at 9 o'clock. Back to the action on a 3-bagger, trying to increase the lead. And the 7-pin won't go.
And making the adjustments, if you recall, a couple times she hit that dry a little too early, the dry area of the lane, the ball hooking through the nose. This time her ball is going to delay, stay in the conditioner a little bit longer. And she is around 12. Takes about 50 feet there before it starts to make its break back.
Cross lane, 2-foot putt is made.